speed rounds with our PP Pro. No, this is our Pelvic Pro, Nicole, who's going to be here, and we're going to talk. This is Dr. Din, also known as Dr. Juvanni by those who know. And guys, we're coming on live because there is a very important subject that has been ignored for so long, as far as women are concerned, also how men are take care of their pelvic health. So we thought of bringing about this new information. It's not new, however, for the first time we're like trying to really break it down in small, understandable pieces for people, and also to answer some very, very important questions. So what I'll be doing today is asking some seriously important questions about pelvic anti-aging with our Pelvic Pro, Nicole. And guys, please participate. I am sure if you're someone who suffers from urinary incontinence, you've just had recent childbirth, or you've just had recent weight gain or weight loss, and you feel a little that your pelvis is like not in a good shape because you have problems beginning to happen, including pain or lack of sexual desire or irregular periods or urinary incontinence or urgency, then some of these exercises can be life enhancing, lifestyle enhancing, and life transforming for a lot of people. And I intend to have this conversation very regularly for those of you who are interested in this. So please follow us and stay because we're going to be asking some questions. So Nicole, hello. So my first question, Nicole, from you is, how beautiful are you and how young are you?
I am very beautiful. No.
She's
because of you.
Spectacular. She's spectacular. And how young are you?
I'm 33 years young.
She's seriously young. Like, you're seriously young. All right. So you have like a lifetime ahead of you.
Yes.
So tell me how, guys, I know this girl for a long time. However, she's had epiphany of sorts when it came to pelvic anti-aging, and I want her to, can you share your story, like how you got into this arena of pelvic anti-aging, and like my goals suddenly aligned with yours. I was like, wow, how amazing. I remember the first time we were talking, I started getting goosebumps.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my God, this is like the person I was looking for, and she's here. Tell me how you got into pelvic anti-aging. What was your story?
So I wish I got into it sooner, but I actually got into it because I had a baby, and after the baby I decided to reach out and look for a pelvic floor physical therapist, because when I was pregnant I was getting all of these different things from other women who were pregnant, like it's gonna hurt, for example, if you have intercourse after the baby, you're never going to get your body back, your stomach's going to split apart, your abs, the diastasis recti, all of these things. So I was scared prior to this. So maybe like it was about a year and a half before even getting pregnant, I was having a lot of tailbone and coccyx pain. I had a fall. I assumed that's what it was for. I was going to physical therapy. Nothing was helping. I was doing cortisone shots.
So this is after the birth of your baby?
Before,
this is before the birth of your... Oh, really?
Yeah. So
you had a fall before?
I had a fall. So I assumed that's what the pain was from. I was taking like bar classes. You feel tender.
How young were you at that?
I was 28.
You were 28.
Yeah.
You had like some routine fall somewhere. Women fall, like we fall. And you started developing
like this
tailbone pain.
So I was going to all these doctors, physical therapists, trying all these different things, and I couldn't find any relief. That I was doing steroid injections. Then I became pregnant, so there was still some strain. I kind of ignored it. Had a pretty okay pregnancy. So after the pregnancy, when I finally connected with that pelvic floor,
did you have a normal delivery or a C-section?
I had C-section.
So you had a C-section planned. Okay.
Yeah. So after seeing this pelvic floor physical therapist, she was able to address the coccyx pain and the tailbone pain I was having. Because if you have a tight pelvic floor, your pelvic floor, the muscles in your pelvic floor. So inside your pelvis, in between the coccyx and the pelvic bone is your pelvic floor muscles. If you have a tight pelvic floor that you can't release, it's gonna pull and nag on your coccyx, on your tailbone. Not one provider that I saw had addressed it. Not one provider had said anything to me about this when this could have been resolved so long ago. And she started explaining to me all of the functions within the pelvic floor, and that really just like got me going. Anyone who is pregnant, having a baby, anyone who is a woman, I was like, let me tell you about this. I just wanted to tell everyone.
So she told you some exercises that you were doing?
Yeah, she did some exercises. And I really was able to restore my pelvic floor, really understand how it works and how it works for me, and I incorporate it in everything, every day, from waking up to going to sleep, the way I breathe, even when I'm lifting and working out now. It's so important.
Yeah. So how?
It could be anything. It ranges from the pelvic floor affects everything, from your head to your toes.
I see.
So it affects your mobility. It affects the way you breathe. It affects the way you sit, your posture, going to the bathroom. It affects incontinence. If you leak, it affects prolapse. How many elderly women do you see with this prolapse? There's so many people with prolapse, when if they could be educated,
how to
it doesn't get that far.
Did you
work
have
on
pain?
Your pelvic floor. I had pain in my tailbone. I also had pain. How much TMI is TMI?
No, there is no TMI. There is no amount of, actually
there's never
we
TMI.
Want we want to actually ask you, like, did you have pain during intercourse?
Yeah.
Did you have so you had pain.
It was when I was younger, even to insert a tampon, it hurt. This is normal.
Oh wow.
If sex is painful every once in a while, this is normal. It's not
no,
normal.
it's not.
None of this is normal.
You
know, there's other things that play into it, but your pelvic floor is so important to make things pain-free.
I see.
I don't have that pain anymore. I don't have that tightness.
I see.
My abs were able to reconnect again.
So you had like you did it separate?
Everyone from pregnancy in general. You get a diastasis recti, so there's pressure there. So it's going to happen regardless.
Expands,
but you have to focus and work on your pelvic floor before you could safely return to exercise. And that's not something the doctor tells you. And I had a C-section. So what about these women having natural birth? It's so much. So pregnancy in general gives so much strain on the pelvic floor, and your doctor, for anyone who gives birth, it's like 6 weeks, good job, go out, you could go exercise, back to normal, do whatever, and it's just simply not true. You need to relearn how to connect your pelvic floor to your abs, those deep core muscles, your transverse abdominis, everything, in order to function again.
Oh, wow.
And just people don't see that.
And we have sedentary jobs. Most people are like sitting all the time and on our computers all the time. So definitely, this is something. So pelvic floor exercises.
Yes.
So what are all right? So tell me the story again. So you discovered pelvic floor exercises after giving birth, or before giving
after giving birth.
After giving birth, you found the person who actually rejuvenated, help you achieve the pelvic health. And since then you have become like obsessed with this thing, and now you go and train people, and people come to you for trainings, and you have transformed lives, and now you're gonna transform even more lives because you're like totally into it. So what are I know that you were also talking about bringing the model, so you can explain to us what are the different muscles you do. But what were the exercises that, like, what would you tell me? There was a very important thing that you said. You said that you didn't know how to breathe. There were some breathing exercises that you learned that helped you start restoring your pelvis. So would you like to demonstrate some of the exercises for us, like, which I will, like, guys, if you stick around, she will actually demonstrate a couple of easy to do exercises that you can start doing no matter where you are. So this is easy for anyone, right? Like everyone should do it, like people should do it. Did you ever meet a yoga person also? Do you do yoga? Did you ever do yoga?
I did yoga, I do Pilates, I do bar, and
these are different